What's it like getting wasted with Ed Sheeran?
It was pretty embarrassing. I had my wife drive me home.
You're like, honey, pick me up. I'm with Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of amazing that she moved out to go live with you in your car.
Especially from Hawaii. Like, who wants to leave Hawaii?
Wow. She must have really loved you, I gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, here we are 7 years later. I played Stagecoach with Jelly, and Lana Del Rey was right there. I love that song.
Yeah.
And she started singing it in front of me, and I thought that was so adorable, but also so mind-boggling that Lana Del Rey was singing my song.
You know, you've collaborated with some greats already. Who's on your dream list?
She would never do it. Billie Eilish.
Why do you say never?
I will put $1,000 on it that it'll never happen.
The angels up in the clouds are jealous knowing we found something so wild. Of the ordinary, you got me kissing the ground of your sanctuary.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Spout podcast. I am your host, Tamara Dhia, and today we are in Portland on the Portland stop of your Cheaper Than Therapy tour. We have Alex Warren in the house.
Hello. This is the most official setup I've ever seen.
Is it?
Yes,
we're going to
I
take
love
that. We're going to take that as a compliment.
love it.
How are you feeling today?
I'm good, honestly. I'm really good. I finally got a day off. I just did an 8 show in a row, so my voice was pretty messed up by the end of it. And yesterday I spent the day in a random spot in Oregon, and it was fun.
Vibing.
Yeah.
Well, first off, congratulations on the success of Ordinary.
Thank
You've hit
you.
#1 globally.
Yeah.
So this must be such a whirlwind for you the past 6 months. Like, what's it been like?
It's been crazy. I think the one thing that, like, I'm so online and I care so much about what people think. I think the one thing that I've had to, like, figure out is, like, how to avoid the bad videos about me, I guess, because as time goes on, the bigger that this has gotten, the more some people like to express their opinions on not liking my music, and I care so much about that, so I kind of have to navigate not engaging with it.
You know what I've learned is that people hate watching is actually a good thing because it only elevates your stuff more, right?
Sure. I think it's something that's like my mental health. I didn't expect to take a toll on it. I kind of expected me to, like, be like, haha. And now I'm kind of just like, oh, darn. You know?
Well, I mean, you have 14 million followers on TikTok. So I would imagine, 14 million people.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty good numbers, I got to say. That
thank you.
love your music because it is so special.
Thank you so much.
Speaking of your song Ordinary, and that it's gone #1 globally, and so many people do love it and they've connected to it.
Yeah.
I love that it's about your wife. That makes it even that much more impactful, I think. But a lot of people don't know your story and how far you've actually come. Can you talk about your journey?
Yeah, I mean, from the beginning?
Yes.
Sure.
I mean, you've had it's pretty remarkable.
Thank you so much. Yeah, my dad passed away when I was 9 years old, and my mom drank herself to death. And I think that was something so difficult that understanding as a kid, but also was such a pivotal part in my life growing up. When I was 18, my mom kicked me out, and I was sleeping in friends' cars and was homeless for a few months. And that's when I met my wife on the internet, funny enough. And she moved out to San Diego, which is where I was at, and she started sleeping in a car with me, which was insane. And we started doing this whole thing, and I would film videos with us, like, together in the car, and they started blowing up, and here we are.
It's kind of amazing that she moved out to go live with you in your car.
Especially from Hawaii. Like, who wants to leave Hawaii?
Wow. She must have really loved you, I gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, here we are 7 years later.
Yeah, and you made that amazing song that's now taken off, which I think makes it so much more special, right?
I think out of all the songs I've ever written, I think that's something so special that was the one that did well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you collaborated with Jonas on the track Burning Down, which is a pretty emotional song, I gotta say.
Right.
So what was it like collaborating with Joe, and how did that even come about?
Collaborating with Joe is amazing. Joe and I are now pretty close, which is so fun. I think it's just been something really cool where my team reached out to his team, and he was a fan already, and I've been a huge fan of him, of course, since Camp Rock. So it's just been a moment of just kind of recollection that these people actually know who I am, which is really cool.
Have you? I mean, I would imagine there's been a lot of moments. Is there been one specifically where you were like, "Oh my gosh, this huge artist who maybe you have really admired is now
There's been a few.
fan?
There's been a few. I think I was with Ed Sheeran, and that was really fun. And then Ed got me drunk, and I ran into Noah Khan, and I was like, Noah, I'm such a huge fan of you. I love you. And he's like, Alex, I know who you are. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. And now I text various different people that I prefer not to name drop, but it's been really cool to kind of look at my phone and get a text message from someone I grew up obsessed with, and they're just checking in on me. It's weird. It's really weird.
We got to go back to you getting drunk with Ed Sheeran.
Sure.
I know you performed with him at Coachella.
I did.
Talk about that, and then also, what's it like getting wasted with Ed Sheeran?
Crazy. Oh my God. It's so fun because it takes 2 Modelas to get me. He was probably 11 deep. It was pretty embarrassing. I had my wife drive me home.
You're like, honey, pick me up. I'm with Ed Sheeran.
Yeah. But it was really cool. And he is such a sweetheart. I send him my album and he just gives me like the best advice ever. It's awesome.
What's the best advice that he's given you?
I think the biggest thing for me was like, I care so much about what people think and like, having a bad show. And Ed kind of has been like, I've played thousands of shows and, you start to not remember them, but you have to remember just showing up is what makes people so happy. And I think like when I had bronchitis and laryngitis and all these different things, I tried my best to play through them and had to cancel a few, and I felt so devastated. But his advice really stuck with me when I was in those moments of just being like, try your best to play the show because they made travel plans. So many of these people like looked forward to this day, and like regardless of me being at 100, it still means the world for them for me to show up just because they showed up as well. So I've really tried my best.
So pushing through.
Yeah.
I mean, you just mentioned that you kind of had like to be on vocal rest for a little bit. So even then, are you pushing through that? Or are you kind of taking note of your voice?
I tend to push through. Yeah. I tend, when someone says you need to go on vocal rest, I tend to do pop-up shows at that moment. So,
I'm sure your team loves that.
No, they hate it.
You also recently teamed up with Jelly Roll for your track Bloodline.
Yeah.
Oh, my brother, you don't have to follow in your bloodline. That storm keeps on raging, but don't you forget, God's not done with you yet.
What was it like working with him?
So cool. He's such a sweetheart. He's another guy who doesn't have a phone, though, so it's really difficult. Why do I keep collabing with people who don't have phones? Really difficult to get a hold of him. But he is the sweetest heart once you do.
Yeah.
And I was talking to him the other day, and he just has the greatest advice, too. I get so much advice from so many amazing people to the point where I'm just taking in so much knowledge, and it's been just such a fun experience.
What did Jelly Roll tell you?
It was funny. He just gives me like random advice. Like one thing that I love about Jelly is like Jelly loves to like introduce me to everyone. So I played stagecoach with Jelly, and Lana Del Rey was right there, and he had introduced me to Lana as like the coolest way ever. And he's like the best guy at introductions in the world. And Lana,
How did he introduce you?
I forget. He just hyped me up like I was the coolest guy in the world. And he goes, Alex has the biggest song in the world. And at the time it wasn't. And I was like, okay, I love that. But she's going to call so quickly. And she goes, well, what's it called? And I was like, Ordinary. And she's like, And I was like, something so out. And she goes, I love that song. Yeah. And she started singing it in front of me. And I thought that was so adorable, but also so mind-boggling that Lana Del Rey was singing my song. And then yesterday she posted an Instagram photo with the song in the background.
I mean, that's a big cosign. I love Lana Del Rey.
I know, right?
What was she like? I mean, she sounds like she was very sweet.
Ethereal. Like it's almost like how do I explain this? Like she doesn't seem like she's from this dimension, if that makes sense. Like she is such a character, but such a sweetheart. Like she radiates such a warm energy. Like when you're talking to her, she's so attentive to it. She's not distracted in any way. She's not. You can tell when someone's trying to get out of a conversation.
Right.
And Lana is just so kind and so. I don't know. It's really hard to find in this industry someone who's like really attentive to you, and she's one of those people.
You know, you just mentioned Lana Del Rey and Jelly Roll. I saw a picture of you with Lana, Jelly Roll, Shabuzi, MGK.
Yeah,
was this backstage at Stagecoach?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and everyone was just so sweet and so kind, and it's so cool that I've been able to like keep in touch with all those people, and it's been a really great. Last few weeks of my life have been absolutely life-changing.
Is it true that Shawn Mendes is the person that really kind of got you into music?
Yes, yeah. I tell Shawn that all the time. He's so sweet. He's such a sweetheart. Yeah, just the trajectory with Vine and everything. I thought it was so cool. It made me feel like what I was doing was possible. So many people try to tell you that it's not, and I think it's really, really interesting where, Shawn was able to prevail, but also he made a full-time, I always wanted to be a musician. He's always wanted to be a musician, and there's so many similarities besides the fact that he looks like a god, and I look like a foot, and it's something. It's something so cool where it's like I just felt some sort of relationship with him, and now we're friends, which is really, really nice.
You just mentioned Vine, and a lot of your initial fan base came from online.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know you're one of the founders of Hype House.
Sure.
With Addison Rae and Charlie D'Amelio.
Yeah.
So what was that experience like?
Oh my God, it was my college years. I was 19 when we started it, so it's all the way 19 to 22, which is literally college years, and so it's so sweet, and we didn't talk for a while after it, and I've gotten really close with them again, and it's just been such a blessing to be able to be able to have those relationships. And Addison's doing music, which is so cool, and I think it's such a beautiful thing that we're both having these moments, and so I'm so proud of her. But yeah, those moments, when I was 19, 20, so many people are like, oh, do you regret it? Because you can go back and look at all the dumb mistakes I've made or the dumb things I've said to my wife and all those things when I was a kid. And no, I think it's something really cool where I can look back and I'm a better person because of it, because I can learn from that.
That's awesome. So have you talked to Addison about her music?
Yeah, we grabbed coffee the other day.
Oh, nice. How was that?
Dude, so amazing. She is so sweet, but she's also I'm so excited to hear her project, and she's so passionate about it. Like, truly, it's not like a thing where it's like, oh, I'm just going to be a musician. Like, she's strategically, but also very, very it's just her. You know what I'm saying? That project is Addison, but also just the way that she feels about it. She's so passionate about it, which you don't find. There's so many people in this industry who are just doing it to get money and get attention and whatever, and she's so happy about it. And you don't find that much. So I'm really proud of her.
I feel like examples like you, Addison, Benson Boone. There's
I was just with him last night.
Oh, how's he doing?
That's so cool. Oh, he's so sweet. He's the best guy in the world. He came to my show.
Okay.
And oh my God, he was just too good. He's too good of a human. He's just a sweetheart, and also he is so. Again, I think I'm just surrounded by such amazing, inspirational people, but also such sweethearts. And there's not a fake bone in that boy's body. And he is so. I'm 24, he's 22, but we've been friends for 5 years now. And he is so amazing, and he deserves everything that's happening.
I feel like, there's a natural inclination for people to not necessarily take someone who kind of blew up on social media seriously as a musical artist.
Yeah.
And artists like you and Benson or Addison are completely shattering that idea because it's showing that you guys are so extremely talented. So it makes sense that you've all gravitated towards each other.
It's not even that. I think it's interesting where it's with Disney Channel and all these other things that created so many of these artists. I think it's just, this is the land of where, so many people like to discredit it and be like, oh, they're just from TikTok. Where's the real artist? And it's this is right now where people are being discovered. This is how it's happening. And, I feel like it's so interesting, people's takes on it, because in 10 years back, they're going to look and see, that was where all the artists came from. But no, it's really, really interesting. This is the Disney Channel now. This is the moments where a lot of people are discovered, and how anyone can become a musician now and really, really, implement their art and share it and get, so many eyes on one thing.
Yeah. And I think that's a great metaphor, is to liken it to Disney. And also there's a lot of quote unquote real artists that are looking to break on TikTok.
Yeah, every day. That's my For You page.
Yeah. So, you've collaborated with some greats already. Who's on your dream list?
She would never do it. Billie Eilish.
Why do you say never?
It's just not one of those things. I think it's especially the type of musician I am, and she is. I think she's so talented, but she's definitely she's got her thing, and I don't think I'm that thing. So but I have a really cool song I think she'd sound great on. But she's so amazing, and I look at her as so much inspiration. And there's some. I love to do something with Miley one day too. That's really
Miley's
cool.
right. She just dropped an album today.
I know. I haven't yet to listen to it, but I've been seeing all the playlist covers, and I'm so excited for her.
I feel like someone with you're the way you've kind of come up in the industry shouldn't say never.
I'm pretty confident it wouldn't happen.
Yeah. I can't wait to revisit this in a year when we're talking about your single with Billie Eilish.
And I can tell you I told you so.
No, it'll be the opposite. It'll be the other way around.
I will put $1,000 on it that it'll never happen.
Okay, well, your tour's doing better than mine, so I'm going to leave it there. Speaking of your tour, you're currently on the Cheaper Than Therapy tour.
Thank you.
Which is such a major milestone.
Yeah, I'm stoked about it.
Has there been any major standout, memorable moments so far?
Every night. It's so cool because my show's different every night, just because the talking points I have are never the same, and the crowd's never the same, and so everyone likes to yell shit out, and it's just a fun time. No, I think standout moments, I got to bring Joe out in New York, which was really fun.
I love Joe.
So fun. And then it's just been meeting crowds and seeing different places, and I toured with my dog and my wife for a little bit, and it's her birthday tomorrow, so she's down in Florida now. Yeah, so it's just been a fun time, honestly, and I'm excited to go home for a few days, but it's been a great time.
Why is it cheaper than therapy? Is it the music that's cheaper than therapy? The experience being on stage? Why did you name it that?
Well, my tickets are cheaper than an hour of therapy traditionally, but not in the EU. I kind of fucked that one up because it's free there. So everyone kind of came after me in Europe. But here, healthcare is expensive.
Yes, it is.
So my tickets are typically cheaper. Not with these scalpers me though. Now it's like $500 to come to a show, so I can't say it's cheaper than therapy.
Okay, well, maybe a very expensive therapist.
Right.
Was there a moment when Ordinary started taking off that you were like, oh my gosh, like this is happening and I think this might change my life?
No. I think when it started doing well, I really was terrified it would just drop. And so I was so focused on that, of like not letting it drop, that I didn't really get to sit there and be like, wow, look at my life's changed.
Yeah.
So I think I blinked and I saw the charts and I was like, wait, is this real? And I think that was just like, as people were, everyone keeps telling me it's the biggest song in the world. I have not yet been like, it's the biggest song in the world. Just because like it's hard for me to believe, but I think I'll believe it once it's all over. And then I'll be like, damn, I wish I had took a second.
Well, I don't think it's going to be over anytime soon. You got quite the career ahead of you. And lastly, for anyone who is thinking of taking the plunge and putting themselves out on social media, what is your best advice for them?
I think my best advice is something I wish I would listen to, and it's truly just do what you want and love yourself. I think it's so difficult to put your true self on the internet and for everyone to judge, you know? Yeah. Like, and that's something that's so difficult to grasp, is you're putting yourself and the things you like in your relationships and your life on the internet for people to judge it, whether they like it or they don't. And it's, it feels so great when people like it, but it's so much worse when people don't. So I think it's something serious of just like surround yourself with amazing people, and nothing can go wrong if you love what you do and you surround yourself with people that you love, and that's the key of it.
And I love that. Thank you so much, Alex.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Hi, guys. Welcome to the Spout After Show. I am your host, Tamara Dhia, and I am joined by my co-host, Eric Zachary.
Hello.
What's up, Eric? How you doing?
I feel like I need to say hello, because that's always what you do when I introduce you.
It is my move.
Hello. I like it.
You got to come up with your own.
No, people don't know it's yours yet.
You're just gonna take
all right, I'll say what's up, Tamara. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So I was really excited to interview Alex Warren. He's obviously blowing up so quickly on the music scene. I had a chance to speak to him just before his Portland tour stop. Have you had a chance to kind of get your information about Alex yet?
You say that like it got like a subpoena handed to me. Yes, I'm fairly versed, and I have seen clips of your interview, which was incredible, by the way. I will say I'm a little jealous. You know, there's always that professional jealousy with us of who gets what interview and whatnot. And there was a part of me that's like, I would have loved Alex, but you did a great job. It's always cool when we get to go on site, right? Like right before they're able to perform at the venue. And you just did such a good job telling his story. It's just crazy to see that, his glow up, deservedly so, but how fast this has all happened.
Yeah, I mean, people don't realize that Ordinary just dropped at the beginning of this year. They just dropped a music video a couple of months ago. I mean, this is happening so quick for him. And when we got to the arena where he was performing, or the concert hall, there was a line around the block. And we were there hours before he was actually going to hit the stage. Wow. And there was a line around the block. It was crazy. I mean, his glow up really needs to be studied for sure.
It's always cool when artists kind of hit that perfect zone of like, when they're booking tours, they don't know how big of a room they should book because they don't know what they could fill in every city necessarily. And I think it's always perfect when it's like right during that glow up, they have the sold out crowds. There's the lines waiting, because then that's just the perfect confidence boost of like, hey, you're doing something right. Speaking of which, by the way, he's up for #1 in the US right now.
He's already number one.
He's already number one. Excuse me.
He had a global #1 before he even had a US #1. But yeah, he hit #1 on the global 200 Billboard charts. That was a couple weeks ago. And then he just hit the Billboard Hot 100 at #1 last week. Yeah. So this week he is battling Sabrina Carpenter, who just released her new single "Manchild," and they're literally going head to head right now.
At the time of this recording too, because I think by the time you see this, we'll know who came out on top. But I'm rooting. I want him to have more than a 1 week #1. Sabrina can climb. She can do it next week or the week after, but I'd love for him to go 2 weeks back to back.
What do you think of Sabrina's new single?
I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, I'm generally a Sabrina fan. I love that she found her lane. I feel like you can relate, but because I was doing radio for so long, Sabrina was such a mainstay that she was doing radio promo and tours and interviews before she was kind of doing more mainstream stuff on TV. So I've known her forever, right? I've known her since she was a kid, and she's always had good music, but she really, really found her lane now. And I feel like she's at that point where she can put anything out and it's going to be good.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely, like you said, at that point where if she puts anything out, it's going to go straight to the top of the charts, which is kind of where you want to be as an artist.
Yeah. I mean, top of the game, literally. Yeah.
Yes, literally. I got to say, like, I was hoping for a little bit more from Manchild.
Really?
I was thinking, I was hoping for more of like summer anthem bops dancing. This is more in her, not like country lane, but you could tell the influence is leaning more folky.
That's what everyone's doing, though.
I know, but it's I'd like to bring back the hot girl summer every summer. So
Tamara doesn't like country. That's what she's saying right now.
What's up?
I said Tamara doesn't like country. That's what she's saying.
That's not true. Beyonce got me into it.
Okay, all right, there we go. Enough said. Okay. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I like it though. I like that it's a little bit of a variety from what she's just put out with her deluxe edition of Short and Sweet and all that.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get some more songs from her coming very soon.
Yes.
That's the intention. Also, just kind of taking it back to Alex, he is dropping part 2 of his debut project. It'll be July 18th. So definitely everyone should be on the lookout for that as well. And during the interview, I thought something, just kind of pulling out a little tidbit, is he talked about his dream collaboration and he basically was like, it'll never happen. But he said Billie Eilish. What do you think like that song would sound like between him and Billie?
I think it's a ballad for sure. Billie, who's kind of gone into like the dance remixes with Charlie XCX and whatnot. I think there's a part of her that's like, hey, I want to get back to the Ocean Eyes vibes a little bit, certainly on a collab or a feature. Not that she's not including ballads on her albums and whatnot, but I really do, as someone that saw her perform and start in that lane, that really moody, slower tempo, that's just where she thrives. And I think obviously Alex's Ordinary is such an anthem, but it is slower.
Yeah.
I would love to hear something like that. I am curious because I know he says it will never happen, but Billie seems like one of the more attainable collabs. As long as he maintains like where he's at, she always seems down to do the feature.
Yeah, when he said that, I pushed back. During the interview, you can hear me being like, what are you talking about? Like he basically was like, it'll never happen. But I should have reminded him at the time how many things in his life has already happened where he basically thought it was never going to happen. Because
how many things out of the ordinary?
Yeah.
see what I did? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Wah, wah.
Yeah, we'll let you have that one.
Thank you.
Yeah, but so I think, I like you said, she is more attainable and she's so online that she obviously knows who he is. And I do think that it's a little more attainable than he thinks. So.
Yeah, for sure. I'm wondering now, though, because he's up against Sabrina, do you think that's a potential collab? Or is she too pop for him?
I think she's a little too pop.
Okay.
But I could be wrong.
She's slowing it down a little with the country leaning. And if he speeds it up a little, they can meet in the middle.
That's true.
Just, I don't know. I think Billie's the better collab for him. I think that would be perfect. I would love to hear Alex Warren's voice on something that Phineas produces and co-writes too.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be
a good vibe.
That would be so good.
Yeah.
He also collaborated with Joe Jonas and Jelly Roll. So he's obviously open to working with other artists, which is, kind of how you build your steam up to the top, even though his steam kind of blew very quickly. So,
yep.
Okay.
Yep.
When I get an Eric snort, I know I need to move on.
I'm not touching that. Let's go to the next topic.
So speaking of Billie Eilish, looks like Billie's got herself a new man.
Yeah.
What?
I said, yeah, Nate Wolff. I'm so thankful we're talking about something else.
Okay. So Billie's got a new man. She was captured on a hotel balcony in Italy, kissing him. Talk about a hard launch.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that it's been rumored and kind of assumed that it was happening for, I don't know what, the last like 2 months, it feels like that. They just, here's the other thing. When people are like, oh, it's a picture they didn't know was happening. If you're a celebrity and you go on a balcony, you know that someone's taking a photo of you. So I think at that point, you're throwing caution to the wind. You're like, you know what? People know. Let's just go for it. Why not?
For sure. Can you imagine the conversation in the hotel room before they went in the balcony?
We do this?
They're like,
should we do
are we going to just hard launch this?
Yeah. Not to mention it's in Italy where like every tourist ever is on the ground with a camera.
Yes. Yeah.
you're not in Montgomery. You're
Montgomery.
I don't know. I was just trying to think of someone more objectively not visited by tourists. Poughkeepsie, perhaps. I don't know.
Poughkeepsie. Where are you going, Eric?
I'm not going to these places, Tamara, because tourists aren't, and that was the point of the joke, and now we're moving on.
Yeah. I do like that they were popping champagne, though, on the balcony. They were
Yeah.
sipping champagne. I mean, like, what a life. Like, more power to her.
There's a part of me that gets really annoyed when celebrities try to act too normal, right? Like, I don't want to see pictures of them shopping at Whole Foods. I want to see you popping champagne with the new love of your life off of a balcony, because that's what you are to us, right? And I get it. They're just people too, and I'm not trying to be too much of a fanboy. And I have had our own, we've had our own versions of our 5 minutes of fame and the limelight and whatnot. But I just want to see her do more baller stuff, because Billy's just such a cool person inherently. People always ask me, like, who is like the best interview? And Billy and Ed are really up there. They're just so normal that I want to see them go for it. I want to see her on a jet ski.
There's a TikTok account that is called People Who Rich Right. And it's basically like these very wealthy people that, they use their money in a crazy ostentatious way. Yeah. But it's something that we want to see because it's not really a life that we live. So I agree with you. I think Billy should go full throttle. I think they should be, kissing on the back of jet skis with like the sunset,
like a
Beyond
James
yachts,
Bond.
More yachts for Billy.
Yeah, exactly. She already did the song for James Bond. Now live the life. That's what we want.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to bring a story to you.
Yeah, do it.
Ed the zebra.
What is that?
You haven't heard about Ed the zebra?
No.
He's a zebra that escaped in Tennessee. He was in an enclosure, escaped. He was on the loose for the past week and a half. And like they kept catching. This is a real story, Tamara. This is very important to the Spout podcast.
Right,
where famous people, I can see your face, where people spout off about what they're famous for. Ed the zebra is now famous because he was eluding authorities for the last week. They got ring camera footage. They saw him on highways that had shut down a highway because of him. And they finally caught him safely in a pasture, and they had to airlift him by helicopter back to his trailer.
Oh, free my boy Ed.
Yeah, you haven't seen that? You got to look up the video.
No, I need to look this
you
up.
Please look up the video, because if you've ever had a big dog, or all my big dog owners out there, and you've had to pick them up and they just kind of go limp like they know they're in trouble, that's Ed the zebra.
Oh no. Yeah. Well, I'm glad he survived and he didn't get hurt.
No, he handled it like a champ. He's like a real life Madagascar. He was ready to go.
I love it.
Yes.
Runaway zebra.
Runaway
That's not
zebra.
the story I thought you were going to bring up.
Oh, what did you think I was going to bring up? Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce going to a wedding? That too. That happened as well. But yeah.
Yeah, but the zebra is definitely way more exciting.
Yeah, no. It was at Travis's cousin's wedding. Obviously, you already have a celebrity in the family. If you have an NFL player, 2 NFL players, for what it's worth. But a Kelce cousin got married, and Taylor Swift accompanied him to the wedding in Nashville. There's so many logistical things that have to happen for Taylor Swift to attend a quote unquote normal event. You know what I'm saying? Like security concerns, NDAs, making sure the guests are acting right and aren't taking photos constantly and bothering her. And I'm sure that was all prepped. But do you think this upstages the bride?
Me, no. But first, I want to point out that Ed the zebra was in Tennessee too, right?
Yeah.
What is
coincidence?
Coincidence?
I think not.
He was trying to go meet Taylor Swift.
2 major celebrities in one place. I'm saying.
Taylor and Ed. Yeah. There's rhetoric online that's basically trolling Taylor, saying that her appearance at the wedding basically upstaged the bride, which I think is ridiculous. I mean, the bride herself was saying that she's a Swiftie.
Right.
I would be so excited to have Taylor Swift at my wedding. I would bring her into my first dance. I'd be like, me and my husband, I'd be like, Tay, come up here.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously she knew this was happening. Taylor didn't just like make a surprise appearance. So I think that's the part a lot of people online are missing. It's not like just like Taylor showed up to a random wedding. And even then you reach a certain level of fame that you can have all the Swiftie haters out there say like, oh, I would hate it, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, shut up. Because it's you can talk about her all you want. You don't like her. But if she showed up to your wedding, you'd be like, this is a cool moment, right?
Yeah.
I mean, her, Beyonce, there's very few that are that level. If you're like a B-list celebrity and you show up to my wedding and I didn't know you're coming and you're not someone I invited and you're upstaging me, that's when I'm mad.
I like those those like random TikToks of a celebrity kind of crashing a wedding at a hotel. I love those.
Crashing is
Bill
one
Murray.
thing if it's like they're a fan of, but if you show up and I'm like, dude, Carrot Top, why are you here? I don't.
Yeah, fair.
I
Carrot
don't.
Top, poor guy, just
Put your
catching strays over here, but
props away, dude. I don't. You're not invited.
You're not hired.
I was
for
trying to
this.
think of like a B-list. He's not even B-list. He's D-list at
Yeah,
best. but
Carrot probably like D.
I'm trying to think like I don't know. I'm gonna upset someone when I say anything.
What if well, I guess Michael B. Jordan's A-list now, but
Well, you just are trying to find a way to meet Michael B. Jordan. That's a
I'm trying to
different.
Find a way to marry Michael B. Jordan.
That's a different
let's
conversation.
clarify that.
Yeah. Good luck. All right.
I'm trying to make him the groom at my wedding.
Yeah, that's not someone stopping by your wedding. That's someone that's part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be fun. Like, there's stories of Bill Murray kind of popping into people's
But
weddings.
again,
I think
he's
that's
one
a
of those
fun
things where that's his thing. He shows up and
Right.
it's like no one will ever believe this. I'm trying to think of like a real solid B-list person that I'm just like, if like a TikToker that's really, really well known, but I don't care for it all,
Right.
that's
That'd be annoying.
that's gonna upset me.
Especially if they're trying to create TikToks out of your wedding.
When you know they're going to, like, come with me for a day in the life of a wedding in Nashville. It's like, all right, I don't need that. But Taylor Swift's pretty cool. And she was having a good time. She looked pretty relaxed. I also appreciate too, not that it's like I'm trying to play too much into the trope of like, don't wear certain dresses if it's a wedding. Like, she didn't go full on Taylor Swift. Like, this woman walks every award show ever. She could obviously steal the show. She just wore a very nice like sundress looking vibe. It was very simple, very plain for Taylor. And I think it was respectful. And it's again, if she showed up to a wedding I was at, it would be so cool. I would be afraid to walk up to her. I wouldn't know like what the protocol is.
Yeah, so you're too aware though, because we're in the industry. So for us, we would know not to like, bug her. But imagine you're someone that's not in the industry and you're, a college student in Nashville.
You're calling all of your friends like, bro, you won't believe what is happening.
For sure.
Right now. Yes.
Oh yeah. I would definitely be sneaking videos for sure.
Yeah, I would try to take a shot with Taylor Swift. I don't need it on video. So that's the thing is I want the story and I just want the story to be true. So I want to be like, you won't believe who I did a rum chata shot with.
Yeah, I'd want to dance. Yeah, like as soon as they threw Shake It Off, I'd be like pulling her on the dance floor. Like, we got to dance to this, Taylor.
Yes, exactly.
Her security would probably knock me out at that point. But.
The idea of you getting clotheslined by a security is amazing.
Why clotheslined?
Go on.
Or thrown, I guess.
Yeah, I've seen Tamara throw a person across a room, but let's
not bring that
That's
up.
a different story. You brought it up. A story for a different time. Hey, thanks for watching the Spout podcast after show. I'm just going to go ahead and take lead here as Tamara embarrasses herself from a story. If you enjoyed the Alex Warren interview with Tamara Dhia, make sure that you leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Make sure you follow us on all socials. Subscribe. Yes. Turn on notifications so you know we put out a new episode every single week. Very excited that next week I'm talking to Jessie Murph. She just put out a brand new song, Blue Stripes, with Sexy Red. She's got her album on the way, just announced as well. So she's joining us. And then
can you give us a teaser about what your interview is about? Any highlights there?
We talk a lot about her going on tour soon and some of the things you can expect. And I will say, because she used to be a cheerleader, there's certain stunts that we talk about.
Oh.
Yeah. So there's your tease. Look for that coming on the Spout podcast.
I love that.
Yeah. But I'll end it. I didn't know if you were gonna. Tamara and I are both used to playing lead, so it's like I don't want to overstep. But
oh no, you took it away, so I was letting you roll with it.
All right, take us out, Tam.
Okay, thank you guys for watching this episode of the Spout podcast. Thank you to my co-host Eric. I am Tamara Dhia, and be sure to check out Eric's interview next week with Jessie Murph.
Yeah, see you then.